Hey guys, welcome to Q&A day, the first ever Q&A day, and isn't it just an amazing day to just be injured still?
He be riding on the wave, I ain't got a lot to say. Mine's heavy, give me space. Pine's ready, let me blaze. Spend money, what a waste. Time's money, money pays. You ain't ready for the eighth.
So first of all, I've made a Discord chat. So join the Peak Stride Run Club in the description below. Get around it. Also like, comment. Question number 1, how is your recovery going? Good question. Really shit. Long story short, I've pretty much had 7 whole days off in a row without doing any exercise other than some upper body training. And that's because I wasn't getting better. I looked back through all of my training diary and what I could see was over the last 5 weeks, even though I stopped running, I still was actually regressing and all of my workouts were actually kind of pain limited. Like I couldn't even get my heart rate up anymore. And so that's pretty much a telltale sign that my body just does not want to do any exercise right now because this hip has just been pissing me off. And actually, it hasn't really been the hip that's been the most painful. The hip pain has gone since I got all my range of motion back. It's mostly just been really deep, nagging quad pain. Probably gonna go get a scan next week to see if there's anything more insidious going on, which I doubt because I barely did anything for this pain to come on. It pretty much started straight away when I got back to running. So yeah, basically 2024 is probably the shittest year of running I've ever done, ever. And might even ever do, unless it gets worse from here, who knows. It's October, so it really can't get any worse now, I don't think. I think I've really hit rock bottom. Okay, question number 2. What would it take for a 3-hour elliptical vlog? Great question. I think it would take me being on a platform surrounded by crocodiles and being on the elliptical, and if I get off the elliptical, I will fall into this pit of crocodiles and die. That is what it would take for me to do 3 hours straight on the elliptical. I did 90 minutes a couple of weeks ago, but it was a bit painful. And now I'm doing 0. So that's what it would take, or $3 million, or 3 million subscribers. Okay, question number 3. How often do you analyze your recovery process rather than just your training performance? Well, not at all right now because I'm injured, but otherwise what I would really focus on is HRV, resting heart rate, and how I actually feel when I wake up in the morning and how fatigued I actually feel. They're usually 3 really good markers to monitor whether your recovery is actually being maintained for you to continue running a lot, or if you need to take a bit of a rest day or a rest week or something like that. Basically, that's how I would. All right, here's an interesting one. Does mileage in your shoes actually matter? Example, I've got over 1,000 miles in a pair of shoes and they feel absolutely fine. This is an epic question. And I think it actually depends on what kind of athlete you are and your training history. But the thing is, if you're a 4-foot striker, you're probably gonna have a lot easier time in managing a pair of shoes as they get more and more fucked than if you were someone like a heel striker, because the heel striker really relies on that foam, otherwise they probably won't be able to run. So I think if you're heel striking a lot, you're probably going to only get a couple of 100 kilometers out of a pair of shoes, whereas if you're 4-foot striking and maybe you're a lighter athlete, for example, you're probably going to get 1,000 kilometers out of a pair of shoes. I've definitely got 1,500 kilometers out of a pair of shoes before. And I would also say that your training history definitely matters. Like if you have really, really strong feet because you've been wearing track spikes and doing lots of track running when you're a child, or like myself, playing lots of soccer, you're probably going to be able to get a lot more mileage out of shoes, because whether the shoe's dead or not, you're still going to be able to run the same anyway. That's basically what I think. But, you know, the running shoe industry might beg to differ, but, you know, I'm not asking any money from you when they are. So what's their motivation? Okay, next question. I want to know what mobility and what strength workouts to do to lessen the chance of injury, but I don't want to go to the gym to do it. Great one. I think I'll actually come back tomorrow and do a full mobility routine, or the one that I've been actually doing specifically for my hip tomorrow. I'll probably come back to this track because it's really nice. And then the strength, maybe I'll do another video too. So basically I'm just going to do 2 videos and answer your question. Is that good enough? But it's 9:26 and I have to start work at 10, so yeah, I'm certainly not accomplishing anything fitness wise today, so I may as well accomplish something monetarily, hey? Yeah. So I think we probably do have time for one more question. Let's cherry pick one that takes 2 minutes. Okay, here's a good one. Any useful tech outside of a running watch? Yes. Useful tech. The arm-based heart rate, because it's so much better than having some restrictive strap limiting the expansion of your lungs. Another thing that I like to use is the running pod sometimes for workouts when I used to do them. It gives you a better idea of running power, which is another metric that you can use, like heart rate and pace and stuff, to get a better idea as to how you're going in your workout. I also really like if I have it here, the vibrating massage guns. I use this in the car all the time just to get through this dead leg that I have. This one's really, really good. It cost me about 20 bucks, so don't be afraid to go get a cheap one from the shops. You don't have to get a $500 one from wherever. The only expensive thing that I do actually have, and it's something that I think my missus gave it to me for my birthday one time, is a vibrating foam roller. This one probably costs like 400 bucks at the time that I've got it. I've actually lost the charger, so it doesn't vibrate anymore since the battery ran out, but it's still good anyway. It's really dense and hard, and that's what I really like. I should probably find a way to charge this though. Hyper Ice. This is good. All right, see you later. Okay, next question. I'm on my lunch break, so we've got to be quick. Any meal ideas for lunches that don't need heating and still help fuel your afternoon training? This is a great question because I'll be honest, I pretty much never have a hot lunch because I just can't be asked heating it up. It's just fucking annoying. And man, it's getting to that time of the year in Australia where the fucking flies just are everywhere and they really start to piss me off. Like, go away. So I've found that the best thing for me is just to eat lots of fruit for lunch and salads and stuff like that you can just bring in a tub cold. Like, I pretty much always have dates because it's really, really light as well on your stomach. So like you said, the afternoon sessions, it's really important that you're not digesting a big fat slab of shit in your stomach whilst you're trying to do an afternoon session. It's not going to work. Okay, next question. I'm a shift worker who does 3 days on, 3 days off. I'm struggling to fit my long run in at the end of the week. Is it gonna matter where in the week I actually do it? I don't reckon at all. I reckon you can put that long run anywhere in the week and it's not gonna make any difference, providing that you don't do a crazy session the day after your long run. Like, the human body's physiology doesn't give a shit about a 7-day week. Realistically, if you think about it, it doesn't make sense, does it?
He be riding on the wave. I ain't got a lot to say. Mine's heavy, give me space. Pine's ready, let me blaze.
Okay, next question. How often do you reflect on your mental strategy during tough sessions of a race or training sessions? Well, I haven't really done a hard training session because I've been really injured. But the thing is, if you're dreading a session and really, giving up during your harder days, then maybe it's time to actually have a deload, because you only have so much willpower. And if you're constantly grinding away, you're probably just going to eventually mentally give up. Like, I truly do believe that you do actually get better at pushing yourself as hard as you can, but to an extent, if you do it all the time, eventually you're just going to tap out all of that willpower that you actually have and you're just going to give up, basically. So don't get yourself to that point. I've got to go back to work. See ya. Next question. What is the pull-up bar / wood thing in your garage called? Good question. It is actually the Beastmaker 1000. It's actually used for mostly rock climbing. And because I used to rock climb before I actually ran, I kept it because it's really cool. See? Excellent finger training. If you know, you know. Okay. Next question, how personalized is your training plan, or are you following a one-size-all approach? Well, very much personalized. See, the thing is, I think people are inherently different. I think everyone adapts in different ways to different stimuli. For example, I respond really well to doing a more cross training and keeping my running volume quite low, and also doing a little bit more threshold rather than VO2 max workouts. I find that helps me to train for longer without getting burnt out, and also gives me the most adaptions. The fittest that I've ever been is when I did 2 threshold sessions a week and no VO2 max at all, just 2 threshold sessions a week. Some people are different and it really just depends. So I think the best thing about running is being able to find out what you actually respond the best to and doing that, because everyone is completely different. Okay, next question is, what supplements do I take? Well, oh man, I'll just show you. Okay, I take a B complex vitamin. I take iron when I need to. And I also take hydroxycobalamin every 3 to 4 weeks. I make sure that I don't take cyanocobalamin because Gary Brecker will come and assassinate me. I don't know. I might take some vitamin C when I remember, but most of the time it's just those 3 supplements. Okay, next question. Where does Pog get his roids? Right, Tadej Pogacar is full natty. The reason why he can go so fast is because he does so much zone 2 training. Zone 2 training makes you able to pedal at 7 watts per kilo for 30 minutes. It's just science. Okay, next question. Where do you get your protein? Where do you get your protein? 1 kilogram of pea protein per day. Guys, only vegans need protein. That's why protein powders are only vegan, right? Are you getting enough protein? Hey? Are you? Okay, last question. How do you mentally handle injury? I would have lost my mind by now. Mate, how do you know that I've not lost my mind yet? Because I'm pretty close to it. Great question, and to be honest, I honestly don't know at this point. Like, it's literally been about 8 months since I've been able to run pain-free without having to worry about my body being a fragile piece of shit. And since not even being able to train at all the last week, it's been a really difficult week. Like, some days, real talk, I've woken up and I've just looked forward to going back to bed again at the end of the day, because that's just another day closer to being able to run again, as bad as that sounds. But the thing is emotions come and go, and sometimes you have to just let them be and not try and cover them up by going out and running and doing all this extra stuff. Sometimes these emotions need to be dealt with, and if you're using running, like I probably was, as a masking agent to just shove all your emotions to the side and be this, you know, Terminator guy, then it's probably not a good idea to keep running. So what I'm trying to do right now is focus on, the issues that maybe I have, but also try and focus on other things apart from myself and my own difficulties, like making YouTube videos like this, for example, and trying to help other people get better in their lives, because that will at least make me feel a little bit happy about this situation. If all that comes out of it is that, I didn't run, but I helped a lot of people, and that's what motivates me right now. So that's what I'm focusing on. It'd be so easy for me to just completely give up and never run again after such a difficult year. But that is not how this story is going to end for me. I know it. Not a chance. I'll see you guys tomorrow.